to follow through on what you set up. So right now, game execration force this to go the distance. Here we go. Execration versus Blacklist International. It's match point for Blacklist. Let's see how far the King and his army can take this. Raptor, I gotta say, man, Angela showing up here in game number 2, that was Execration's gambit. It's the King's gambit. And then Blacklist says, you know what? Let me do you one better. You're doing a throwback. Here's X-Board.
Yeah. So
Here's X-Board.
That's the Queen's gambit now.
Yeah. Oh, real quick. This pause here gives us time to once more break down what exactly is going on here in game number 2. I have thoughts on X-Borg. And I think it works so well as a last pick.
X-Borg is going to go straight up for that immortality, but just in case he gets put into really hairy situations, he'll have the Matilda and the Guiding Wind boost if he wants to use it to get away. So essentially, he can still go and make plays even without the immortality, because if ever, he'll have escapes. Maybe Isan can even throw him away if he can't dash away. The Guiding Wind that I mentioned can he use to escape. So this X-Borg starting to make a lot of sense here for me.
Yep, and I love the interaction as well between Baksha and X-Borg. It's a non-starter. X-Borg doesn't care. X-Borg will again maintain the 4 life bars and continue the fight. He can respond, while Renzio here, has the same kind of role, but if there's anything that the Baksha has going, it's faster rotations. He can just get there so much faster with the shield unity. Right now, there's not much happening. It's a little bit more a little more tame compared to game 1 in the early minutes.
And now Execration, with the lineup that they have here, specifically the Tigreal on Chaknu, they can really surprise Blacklist with shrub plays, with surprise setups, if they can get to position in time. Because again, they're up against a really fast lineup. Execration's fast as well, but I'm talking about the supports here. Oh my Venus and Isan will get to position way ahead of Execration. So if Execration can get in position in time, then they'll be able to surprise Blacklist. Look at Chaknu now. Speaking of position, he's there.
This is the Chaknu special, just waiting in the bush, finding his moments. Early Turtle started up here, not more than 2 minutes, 10 seconds in, and they have to reset. It's a little difficult here. They have to find better positioning now. There's the Electro final blow put in by KLVJ. There's a last insanity by Edward, but they answer back with a revitalize. Now KLVJ calls in the Heart Guard. He says, okay, Etomax, come on in, buddy. Come on in, Cap. And there's a few wisps set out by Venus, but just the same, I think both teams have gone a little too much. If they're cooking, they put a little too much defense.
Yeah. And you saw both teams were actually waiting for one thing, the last insanity. Execration was like, okay, when is Edward going to use this? But Edward used it a moment too late. Execration got to burst it down to the point where all it needed was one quick tap on the Retribution by KLVJ. Could have gone either way. If I'm Edward here, I'd consider actually bringing out the last insanity a little bit earlier, not necessarily to steal, but to just take away a member of Execration or put them out of position, so then Blacklist can come in and push them out, potentially get 1 or 2, and then that's how they'll win objective fights here.
And right now it looks like Execration found their window better. I think if the draft, that last pick X-Borg, was a very fine touch, I think Execration understands that. They've run through this draft. I'm pretty sure Coach Pakbit knows exactly what he's doing here, and it's just a matter of time to see if Blacklist can find themselves out of this hairy pickle. Do they say that? Is that a word?
Hairy pickle. We could.
I think it is.
We're trendsetters here in the MPL. We can make that a thing.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. Now Edward loses the Pyraga armor. Renzio gets Etomax in him. Pops the stance. They get it. Kiel, the King, draws first blood onto Edward, the MVP from game number 1. Puts a few hits onto the gold plating down bottom. That is going to be the energy shield, pulling them up about 600 gold ahead. Now a team fight waiting to break out in mid. Not a good one for Execration to pick though. Not one they can fight back with.
Yeah, Execration now in big team fights are going to need to focus down Oheb, because Oheb's going to be the best chance of Blacklist along with Wise to actually put a dent onto Kelra's Alice. Because Kelra, with that Alice, we know naturally has great sustain, loves the long team fights, but then Itomax on that Angela can just absolutely empower Alice and bully Blacklist in a fight.
Yep, they gotta find those windows where Heartguard is a non-starter. Nice turtle take here by Blacklist. Wise gets it. Down goes Chakno. Oh, they're looking low here. It's only two. It's Kiel and Renzio in the middle of all of them. Down goes Etomax. Not even able to go in and use the Heart Guard. It's 3v4. But Blacklist International members, they're looking low. They're at least going to secure their own purple buff here. Down goes the Serpent. And still walks away, I think, the victor. That is a turtle plus 2 kills.
And Edward using the last Insanity a little bit earlier than he did, and it actually put a dent onto Execration.
Much better.
Much better. So I think Edward already found his timing quickly. But now the problem with this X-Board pick is against Renzio, especially against that Baksha, he's going to have a hard time now because when they're both level 4, the X-Borg's barely gonna do damage to Baksha, and Baksha's just gonna keep spamming the shield throws at him.
Yep, and I think that's when Edward has to again find his role, find his place in this world. Now up top, it's going to be Renzio, the only defender. Chakno gonna try to help his brother out. Gonna try to help stop this lane push. Pops the Puissance. Wise charges up an arrow. Gets to clear the wave, but for only so long. VJ gets ejected in. Oh, Venus looking for a good hit on the Circling Eagle. Wisps not hitting their targets. A lot of this game is so cautious. Both teams.
Yeah, and Chaknu's actually really cautious right now. He's been mainly using Implosion and Sacred Hammer in a defensive setting. He's having a really hard time trying to play make here for Execration because of the mobility of the lineup of Blacklist. Speaking of mobility, look at this one-on-one.
Oh, about to turn into a 3v1 if Oheb's not careful. He sees 3, he sees 4. In goes Etomax with the Heart Guard. Electro Final Blow down bottom again. Lessons learned from game number 1. They understand that underneath the turret, it's a bad idea to go against Blacklist.
Yeah, and Oheb is on that Harith. He's going to be difficult to catch, and that's one of the problems here for Execration. They don't have that one single target, easy to connect lockdown onto that Harith, who will just dash left and right if you're going to try to dive him under tower, which we saw.
Yep, now the second turtle of the game in contention here. That's going to be the Shield Unity put in by Renzio. In goes Kelra, and in goes Wise. He traces out of here. Oh! Nice blink in, jumping in right, taking down Wise. And now even though my Venus is low, Edward pops the last Insanity a little too late. And Reptar, it seems like that is key.
Kelra is the key. One of the Ks is the key. I can keep going on with this, but yeah, we just saw it there. And great use there of the Heart Guard. We're going to see a pick off here, though. There's going to be a fight still continuing later.
Again! That's going to be Renzio now, the recipient of Etomax's ult. And Kelra once more. Nice implosion. They're able to jump out at the last minute before they get put in place for the K. One half of the KK brothers to get another kill, but he gets it nonetheless. Now, oh my Venus, looking low in the middle of 3. Ejector right through the wall. Oh, that was not an ejector actually. Essen is out. It was a Circling Eagle taken down prematurely.
Okay, I'm questioning now the decision-making here of Blacklist. They fought so hard to keep that tower alive. I don't know if that was because they were really just trying to buy time for Oheb to push the bottom lane, knowing that Execration will take this fight and try to get the kills. But, okay, if that's the approach, that makes sense why they did that. But to most of us, we're probably thinking, why did Blacklist take that fight? Hopefully that's the reason, because they're giving more kills to this Alice, who will be the biggest problem for Blacklist International. Again, it's only going to be Oheb and Wise who'll be able to deal with that Alice well enough. Granted, if Wise doesn't get caught out by Kelra early, and Execration has shown in the past, especially in their fight against Omega, they love it when they have someone who can dive in the backline and just focus down either the mage or the carry of a team. And if Blacklist lose, either the Matilda or the YSS is going to be a tough fight to win.
Yeah, and so far, that's Execration getting what they want. Execration has all of the tools to be able to do that. Ejector onto Renzio, pops the Puissance, Oheb drops the Zaman Force. They're going to try to get one here. Nice pickoff. They get it. Down he goes, and they're going to continue by pressuring the rest of the map. It's Edward starting it off with a few fire missiles. KLVJ gets the turtle here at the very last turtle of the game, just in the nick of time. Down goes Edward. It's a 2v1. The KK brothers get it.
And now Edward is having a hard time finding his spot in the world here for this lineup, because all he really is good for now is just the last Insanity for objective fights. And Blacklist, my question is for them is, other than OHEB, who are you gonna send into the side lanes to push it out or apply pressure there? Because Edward earlier in game number 1 was on the Benedetta, who is perfect for that. But this X-Mark is barely gonna do much. But speaking of doing a lot, Essen with a beautiful pickoff.
Ooh, circling Eagle there by Venus. Implosion underneath the turret. Heart guard here. Etumax says,
save.
I got you.
Oh,
But there's a delayed damage by Venus. The Queen takes down Chaknu. Close. I mean, so much resources went into that. I guess the one thing that Execration can think of is at least they had to force one. Oh, here's another. No. They get Kelra.
Wow.
That's going to be the flowing blood. Perfectly placed. He read that situation so well.
Yeah, he knew he was spending a lot of time there in mid and already sent that flowing blood out early.
Oh, and the fight continues. Y is going to be the recipient of one Electo final blow by the King, and Venus is in trouble. Venus walking out. Itomax blinks in, throws out a love wave, circling Eagle. Not going to save him. Kelra takes him down.
And now Blacklist, they're getting pressured in all fronts. They're having a harder time now in their team fights because Kelra is still untouched, already 5-0-1. And OHEB, sadly, he's the one stuck in, oh, I gotta help manage the waves duty. Because he also knows that he can't get taken down right now because he's one of the keys to victory here for Blacklist if they want to turn this fight around and win.
Oh, look at this. Kelra with not a glimmer of fear in his eyes. Heart guard in by Etomax. Pops the oath, the blood oath. He's running out of mana. He says, let's call it quits. Can't push this turret just yet. I'm loving it. 11 minutes in, not even a Lord just yet, and Execration is feeling it. Oh, but they may have felt something else. The King stayed underneath the turret a little too long.
Man, prayers up now for Blacklist because they're up against a great Angelus combo.
Woo! Is that right? Oh! Etomax goes down. That's 2 out for Execration. Perfect window for a free Lord.
Yeah, and now Blacklist, they have to get this Lord. This is going to be their best opportunity to regain control of this game because now Execration has had better control of this game leading up to this point. But it seems like Execration don't have the tools to actually secure that Lord. Now this is bad for Execration because if Alice is like the key here for Execration, again, I mentioned earlier OHEB, who already is running with a Feather Heaven, Holy Crystal, and the Calamity Reaper as well. He has the item set up. I believe he's on the road to Concentrated Energy as well, which is good for him because it's going to increase his ability to magic lifesteal and sustain and stay longer in the fights. Considering that he has Matilda, it's going to be, it's close because you're seeing on one side the Angela and Alice, who sustain and empower one another, and then you have the Matilda and the Harith here.
Yep, and so far, the one pick-off maneuver by Blacklist is paying off. They have to get these team fights one at a time. Now Y is gonna get decimated here.
Oh,
nice dash out.
Save.
Nice dash out. Oh my Venus. Thank you so much, says Wise. And right now, Essen blinks out of here. Flicker already spent. OHEB in trouble.
They're buying time.
Splitting up Execration, and time is all they need. Lord pushing down bottom alongside Edward. I think Edward found his place in the world, Reptar.
Yeah, Edward with a great push, really sticking to what he needed to do here. Now suddenly the turnaround by Blacklist. Execration committed way too many just to take out Wise.
And that's exactly what makes this lineup by Blacklist so good. They can pick their fights, they can split up their opponents, and Execration, they're so all in. Heart Guarder, nothing. Heart Guarder, nothing. They catch out Renzio off of Essen's ejector. Sound Force laid in. That's top lane penetrated right now. That's a lot of damage dropping onto the King. OHEB answers back, taking down the Benedetta. It's 2 defenders left for Execration. Down goes bottom lane, mid lane in jeopardy. That's one by Kelra, taking him out. Kelra's the only one left. Can he save this base? Blacklist, they're looking for the final siege. Reptar, this might be over. Here's another defender.
Oh, Kelra!
He gets thrown into the back lines here. I think it's fine. Execration, they've seen themselves in hairier situations. Hold up. There's the Winter Truncheon by Kelra. Esson goes down. Oh, last insanity in here by Edward. Chaknu goes down. It's just Kelra left. It's a wipeout. Ladies and gentlemen, Blacklist International might finish this. Not unless Renzio here has something to say. Can Renzio save the day? The answer is no. It's a sweep by Blacklist International.
I did not expect a